All right, so we ended off last session with the five of you tonight, currently two, um, defeating the mistress Zanisha, the large Lamia um, woman who was dwelling in the top of the Shadow Clock Tower and manipulating the Skin Saw cult to kill people through town. Musashi, you got the killing blow with a shot to the back of her head. Um, yeah, with a shot to the back of her head as she was trying to slither her way down the back of the tower. Um, you managed to knock her you know below her health with that last point of damage, and she fell to the ground and landed face first, taking the rest of her constitution away. She's dead. Um, Ren, I believe you ran up and you decapitated her.
Just to be sure.
Just to be sure, yeah. So yeah, you're standing there, having just removed the head from this body, and you see, torch lights and candle lights start to poke out of door frames and windows up and down this the street. Um, what do you do here?
I want to look at any valuables that might be on the ground before these people come out and try to get involved in this.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Musashi's hoofing his butt down the stairwells.
There's treasure in the top of the tower.
Okay.
We yeah.
We address.
Once you.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. What you find, Ren, is a large magical spear with a twisted handle and a weird a weird large spade shaped head. I gotta find a picture of it. I'll find it in a minute. But as soon as you pick it up, it resizes in your hand from large down to medium.
Okay.
You also find a Sahedron medallion. Now that you would recognize it as such, but it just like the one that Cordova had.
Okay.
It has the false life properties. This one has a broken chain that seems to have been repaired with a leather strap. You also find on her a snakeskin tunic and a key ring filled with small keys that look like they go to chests. After you finish picking over the large corpse, the few people that have begun to come out of their homes, start to creep down the street. I assume you go back up the stairs, right?
Not necessarily. You said the last thing was a chest?
No, the last thing was keys to the chests.
Chest. Keys.
Or two chests, yes.
Yeah, so...
Well, I would think generally my character would have been booking his ass down there in rage, regardless of what was up top, to go make sure it was done. So I would hope by the time he's done picking her over, Musashi would have showed up.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is kind of...
if that's your goal, then absolutely. By the time he's done, Musashi's made it down to the bottom of the tower.
I could probably catch Musashi on his way down if you let me do what I'm planning here.
I would worry that someone's going to do something to the body.
Okay. We'll say that. You're down there with me.
Sure. Yeah, so what you coming down there for?
Okay, so one, in a rage, he'll run up to him and be like, "Is the bitch finally dead?
Dead
I see you took the head off." Musashi will take just hurried stomps up. Instead of his large sword, he's going to whip out his katana, the one he had, and without skipping a beat, just run up and jab it through the heart of the thing.
Her head's already gone. I don't know if that's necessary. But I understand and appreciate your passion.
At this point, that's for the heart of the woman she took from me. And then without skipping a beat, I'll look at him. Any valuables left on it?
I've got what I can, but we should probably... I don't know what these people are going to say about this, or, we're not in the best part of town.
Then Musashi will just go, good. He'll whip out his other flaming sword and proceed to slash and set the body on fire.
How do the people react to
gosh.
this, Jeremy?
With surprise, you hear, a sharp scream and look up, and a couple of them, look like they've started to run away. But for the most part, the group is still, gathering and edging closer. Like they realize you don't necessarily serve a threat to them, but
Right.
they're very interested in what you're doing.
Okay, I'm gonna put my weapons away and hold my hands up so they can see my hands and be like, "There's nothing to see here, folks. We have just expunged a great evil from this tower. This Lamian woman. Nothing to worry about."
And Musashi's still covered in blood here because I'm a little furious. I'll turn and kind of see the crowd and then just scream, "The demon that has slayed multiple nations is now gone." And then I'll just slowly clean my blade and put it back. Just slowly start calming down a little bit.
Can you guys hear the background of my house?
No. Can you hear me whispering and doing the little
Yes.
villager? Okay, good.
Yes. So she's gonna say,
I didn't know.
"There's more to be done within this tower. We would ask that you all stay back. Let us handle this business here." And I'm gonna start backing like towards the door and kind of ushering Musashi to go back in there.
All right. Yeah. As you get back inside, you hear, Nars holler from the top, "Hey, there's stuff up here, here."
And Nars, Musashi, you think you can guard this door for a moment?
Easily done.
Great. I'm gonna cast levitate and fly back up to the top.
And Musashi will
you,
whip out a sword and put it towards his feet, like standing there looking at all the villagers and making sure the body's burning.
Yeah, you see a couple people come up, and they get as close to you as they're willing, which is really only about 15, 20 feet away from the entrance of the tower, and they're trying to see through towards what's going on inside the tower. Yeah, they can't really see anything. Maybe one or two of them see a lump of the giant dead God, what's the golem. But for the most part, they're just trying to see what's going on. Cordova, as you rise back up to the top of the tower.
Nope.
I'm sorry, Ren, as you rise back up to the top of the tower, you see that these falling bells have done quite a bit of damage to the staircase and to the walls of this tower. You see large holes of crumbling brick just in multiple places as you float up the first 100 feet or so.
This place is
You
gonna
get up
come
to the
down.
top.
Perception?
Yep, perception. This place is structurally unsound now. Like whereas before you felt like it was pretty
Ooh.
stable, and
I'm gonna holler back down to Musashi, clear everyone away from the tower. It could fall.
All right, then.
Do what you can.
Musashi's going to grab his blade, making sure it's on fire,
Oh my
and
God,
very
you're gonna threat.
visible, point it up in the sky, and yell so everyone gets the attention and looks at him, kind of, I'm sure, all nuts. And then he'll proclaim, "I've been told by my colleagues this building may come down. You may want to back up," and then just place his sword back where he was guarding.
Yeah, people start to back up, and you see a few of them like point up to the top of the tower and hurriedly like shake their fists like excited and start running off towards local pubs. If you remember through, I can't remember whose knowledge local it was, but there is an ongoing bet in the underbridge on when this tower will fall and where it will fall to, how many buildings it'll crush. So a little bit of information just excited some people to run off and place some bets.
Nice.
Ren, you get to the top of the tower and you notice Nars, Billick, and Cthulhu are fiddling with a handful of chests that are over in the back right corner where her nest is.
But I'm gonna rush over with the keys.
Of course, you rush over and Cthulhu's already gotten the first couple open, and you go ahead and continue with the next three. So the first 5 chests contain several small leather pouches of coins in denominations, in various denominations, and each pouch holds 100 coins. In total,
Mhm.
you find 33,000 copper pieces, 8,100 silver pieces.
Okay, hold on. 33,000. Could you just give me the one number? Okay, 800 silver
Yeah.
pieces.
Yeah, 8,100 silver pieces.
Okay.
900 gold pieces
Mhm.
and 100 platinum.
We made bang taking down the Saw Cult.
The 6th chest, you open it and it just shines back at you with mounds of jewelry and pouches full of small gemstones. You approximate that the contents of this chest are worth roughly 4,200 gold pieces, made up of various jewelry and gems.
Nice.
The 7th chest contains 4 potions of cure moderate wounds. I'll go ahead and give it to you, a magical +2 small kukri.
Ooh, +2 cookie.
Yeah.
Small. I gotta write small then. Okay.
A ring of jumping.
Shit, hold on. Fuck. Ring of jumping. If I put +2 first, it screws up everything. So let me put small kukri +2.
Yeah.
Okay. Of jumping.
A scroll that Billick can quickly identify as a scroll of scrying.
Okay.
And a golem bane scarab. I'll paste that in the chat.
Okay.
Golem bane scarab. And
That.
as you're digging around, I want you to roll me a perception check, please.
Okay, rolling. Where are you? Perceptione. Where's there? Ah, man. Crap.
Roll it again because I mean there's 4 guys up there, so I'm just gonna let you.
How's an
Nice.
18
All right,
suit
much
you?
better. 18 is much better. You notice that crumpled up, and shoved into some of the nesting that she has here is the nesting is silk papers. It's not trash. Yes, it's stuffed into into her silk scarves and blankets. A crumpled up wad of parchment, with a note scrawled on it. I don't know if you want to read that here. Or you want to get back to the base before you do that. Leave that up
I'll
to
grab what I can, and if I don't see anything else of interest, then we can move out of there. Also, I want to detect magic in case there might be anything that was hidden.
you. There is nothing else hidden in here now.
Okay, then I'll be like, we got everything. Let's head down.
All right. It's chapter 2, not chapter 3. Duh. That's handout 2-4. I'm sorry, I've got to find this. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. All right. Show to players. Show to everyone. All right, you get back downstairs. And this crowd is, it's dispersed a little bit. People have gone back, but you can tell there's still lingerers. Where do y'all go from here? Do y'all go back to the pub, or are y'all going to go somewhere else?
I think that we should clear the area if we feel this tower is going to.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be a bad thing to either warn people about it or get people out of there.
Yeah, if we've done what we need to do here, we caused a ruckus here, and if these people come looking for us, or if this tower falls, we don't want to be in this area.
Yeah, we don't want to have them going, well, you took down a bunch of buildings. It's on you.
Yeah. There could be a lot of reasons not to be here. So I think we should move on to a different part of the town.
Absolutely. I'll go ahead and select Billick for this too, because we might need him. Can y'all roll me a couple of diplomacy checks as y'all try to run around and convince people, you got to go. The tower's gonna go. The tower's gonna fall. Yeah.
Let's
What do y'all
find-
say? How do
I
y'all
got a
get people out their houses?
22.
Nice.
I would recognize that these people really probably don't have anywhere to go, but to be safe, I would clear this area. Temporarily. Move out of here temporarily.
Oh, delicate, terrible roll. All right. Yeah, Musashi's role was fantastic. He goes in very respectful and convinces, everybody within
What
300 feet.
Musashi will basically say is that we dispatched the Salk cult, but they booby trapped the building to come down. So we're not sure when it's going to, but it will.
Ooh. And a lot of people really latch on to that because they've always thought that those cultists, yeah, they've always been up to something nefarious. I didn't know what. I couldn't put my nose on it, but I knew they were up to no good. So you're able to convince everybody within 500 feet of the tower, all the homes, all the businesses to clear out.
Nice.
And that way, too, now that they believe that we're not on the hook if the building actually comes down since they're wrecking it on us.
Well, luckily, y'all's tavern was, far enough away, I do believe. I said it was right down the road, but, far enough away from the tower that y'all would not have to find somewhere else to sleep.
Then we'll return there.
Yeah.
We'd return there and gather together to go over what we've got here.
All right. You go there and sure now you want to read that note. Let me open it. So as you get there and you're winding down, you're gathering your wits about what happened in the battle. Ren, you look over this letter that you found, and I mean, you can't quite place your finger on it. You think it might just be probably just paranoia. I mean, because he recognizes these kind of things, but something about this handwriting stands out to you. It looks a little familiar. It says, "My sister, I trust your little band of murderers is doing well, gathering their greedy souls for our Lord's rise. Has Magnamar proven to be as sinful as you had hoped? It may interest you to know that my plan to nurture greed here in this backwater has blossomed to a quality of has blossomed. The quality of greed in a soul is so much more refined when it's given proper care. Are you still simply carving the Sahedron rune on them as they expire? How crude. My method of marking is much more elegant. In any event, I'm sure that your plans for harvesting greed where you are, and I'm sure that your plans for harvesting greed where and when you can find it in the wild are progressing well enough. I just hope that your raw, ungroomed, and likely inferior victims don't interact poorly when they're mixed with the purity of my own subjects. If you tire of your little project here, know that you're always welcome back at Turtleback Ferry. And to serve as my assistant, little sister. Fort Rennick should be in our control by the time you receive this letter. In any event, there'll be plenty of room for you if you wish to take me up on my generous offer. Oh, and before I forget, have you managed to harvest that Lord Mayor yet? By all accounts, he might be the cream of the crop in Magnamar. His soul may even rival several from my own hand-grown harvest. And it is unsigned.
Oh, snap.
Sister. Musashi, did she have a sister?
I don't remember my backstory. I don't think she did. Or at
That
least
you know
not
of
that he
anyway?
would've- Yeah, not that he would have known, as far as I can remember.
It wouldn't be my first dealing with Lamians.
Do you think they could have possibly meant sister in the religious sense?
Potentially. Either way, it seems like Fort Rannick is in trouble.
Wonder if they plan to do the same or worse there.
Well, they're harvesting souls to raise a rune well, which we'll have to do with the Runelords.
Now the question is, do you think, obviously we took down the one here, do you think they're worse off over there? Because it sounds like she's better than the one we just took down.
Either way, I think we have our destination. We need to.
Possibly so.
How far away is Fort Rannick from here?
Long ride. Fort Rannick is up in Turtleback Ferry, which is, or up north of Turtleback Ferry, which is way down the Yondapakari River, past the Santos Forest. It's probably several days ride by boat.
By boat. I'm that's most I can make of it. She has us otherwise, or in the religious sense, that we need to start moving that direction. She does mention the Lord Mayor at the bottom of the list here, being that the Lord Mayor is guilty of some sin that they wanted to harvest his soul for. He's obviously not dead.
Yeah, didn't we take him out?
Y'all took out the.
Oh, never mind, wrong guy.
Took out a sheriff guy.
Justice.
Justice. If she's saying that his soul might rival several from her own hand-grown harvest, then they're probably already manipulating the people in Fort Rannick.
Mm-hmm.
Which means Fort Rannick would be even more corrupt than it is here in Magnamar. And I don't think there's anything we can do about the Lord Mayor and his corruption.
Yep. I guess the other question is, too, do we want to even attempt to do anything to this guy since he hasn't done anything to us, or just kind of stepping over? It's like justice for no reason.
Right, but if we've shut down what's happening here, then his soul is safe regardless of what he's doing.
Yeah.
He won't be used to, bring the Lords back. So I think he's irrelevant, and we need to move on to Fort Rannick.
All right, so y'all discuss this. Eventually through the night, everybody falls asleep except for Ren, who stays up in her room, pacing, rereading this letter, trying to figure out why there's something familiar about it, what stands out.
Mm-hmm.
It's your sister. Dun, dun, dun.
And early in the morning, around about 6-7 a.m., before everybody else has started to wake up yet, you hear a loud din coming from the bar area. Ren, you go out and stick your head out the hallway and look, and you see several shining several guards in shining scale armor walk through the door, escorting a small gnomish man. Some patrons jump from their seats and run for the back exit or the windows, but the men pay them no mind as the gnomish man scans the bar and locks eyes in your direction. He points at you and whispers something to the lead guard, who's a man of nearly 50 in gilded chainmail with a gleaming sword, who looks up at you with a serious, smileless expression. You there! On behalf of Lord Mayor Grobaris, I've been sent to escort you to the palace.
Just me?
You and your companions, wherever they may be. The
They
Lord
fled.
Mayor has some questions.
They fled.
They fled. Well, I hope you can answer for them. You see, you've been identified as having been present at the scene of several events lately, including but not limited to damage to the old clock tower, burning at a local sawmill, and the deaths and disappearances of multiple individuals. I believe it is in your best interest to comply.
I'll comply.
Do you alert the others in any way?
I don't know how I would.
All right.
Like, can I grab my things?
I will grab your things. He comes up with you, and asks you what you need from your room.
Get tools in my room.
Oh, nothing.
No, you wouldn't. I'm trying to remember this. Be like, they're female items. Just let me run in real quick. I'll be right back.
Roll a bluff check.
Oh, my bluff is my worst. All right.
Yeah.
Dude, there you go. Told you.
Where you're going, you won't need to worry about your female things. Come. He stands to the side and gestures with one arm for you to walk out in front of him.
I'll walk out in front of him.
So as these guards walk with you through the Capital District, they stay silent. The leader walks out in front of you with a couple of guards on either side and one trailing behind. And you are guided to a massive mansion with a heavy iron gate surrounding an even more massive property. The first 300 yards or so between the gate and the door of the mansion are filled with a massive, beautiful garden of exotic plants of all colors, carefully arranged into unusual groupings. They lead you through the front doors and down a long hallway to the massive banquet hall. So, Lord, I brought the vagabonds that you requested, sir. A heavy round man sits at the head of a long 50-foot table that is just covered from end to end with food. His round cheeks are smeared with grease and fat. His bald head glistens with the sweat that he's worked up while eating. He's played by Brian Baumgartner, who's Kevin from The Office.
Oh, God.
Nice.
He leans over. Oh, I might be too. Okay, Kelly told me to be quiet. I'm talking too loud. Yeah, he leans over. Oh, calm down, Blakeup. You're just mad because this vagabond made you look bad. Now seek my guest and leave us. You're gestured to the head of the table where another guard pulls out your chair. And laid out before you is a hero's feast in the mechanical sense, just like y'all had back in Sandpoint.
Okay.
So any deficit ability points that you might have, restores you to full health. You're well rested, all that great stuff. So you take the seat?
I do.
Okay. He looks at you. Oh wait, this wrong voice. I heard you had friends. Where are your companions? I wanted to meet all of you.
For what purpose?
Well, to congratulate you. You've solved a massive problem of mine. That snake woman and that golem have been suspected of several murders here in town. They were thought to be urban legends, but last night you proved the legends true. You killed the legends. And he shakes a turkey leg at you in every syllable of that last sentence.
God.
Do you often send guards in the night to...
Well, it's not night, it's breakfast. The sun's been up for some hours now.
Oh, has it? Okay, well, you didn't tell me that part.
I said it was like 6 or 7 a.m.
You made it sound like they came in the middle of the night.
And I sent my guards to retrieve you and escort you back up here for your safety as much as anything else. He's just angry.
By all accounts, do you think we need safety?
Well,
protection?
Probably not from what I've seen. But he's just angry because, see, it's his job to solve the big problems, and, well, you're making him look bad. His fault, not yours. Nothing for you to worry about. He says, you've done so much for me. That tower was an eyesore, and that all that damage you've done to it, and and pointing out the evil creatures that were dwelling inside of it, you've turned public interest. I can have that tower and all the crumbling ruins around it demolished and built up into a better, stronger part of the city. This is wonderful.
What happens to the people there?
Oh, they'll find homes, I'm sure. That's not for me to worry about. It's my job to make the city look pretty. If these poor people can't afford to live there, well, then that's their fault.
You're the Lord Mayor?
I am.
What is it you want? From me, from us?
Well, firstly, before I get to the main reason I asked you here, but firstly, I do have a question. You see, you were identified in connection with the burning of a local sawmill. And you see, there were several bodies found in the wreckage. And one of the proprietors of that sawmill was a local justice, and he seems to have gone missing. Now, since you were in the area, I was hoping you might be able to clear this mystery up for me.
He's dead.
Oh, dear. How?
Skinsaw cultist himself.
Really?
He was.
Do you have any proof of this?
I don't
You
remember.
have his
Did we? Yeah. Okay. We took his journal. Yeah. I do have proof of it, but your guards wouldn't let me get my things.
Ah, yes, he can be a bit of an ass. Well, that's fine. If you can provide me with the proof, that would be amazing.
Wouldn't be a problem.
Yes. Is there anything else about that you want to tell him?
I don't know. Is there anything else I should? It's been like 5 weeks since we burned that place down, man.
Yeah, it's up to. Well, I mean, I mentioned this part again here. It's up to you if you want to tell him about the plot against his life or not. So, I mean, especially since you're the only one there now. Yeah, entirely up to you.
Yeah, you know what? I want to see where this goes. I'm gonna tell him. And at the top of the tower, we found a letter. They were after you.
Oh dear. Me?
You. This Lamian body that you saw or found or heard about out there. She was looking to harvest your soul.
Well, I am very glad that you stopped her. It makes you even more valuable to me. I didn't know that my death was imminent, you see. It's very bothersome. And you say that the justice was involved in this?
Oh yes, very much so.
It's very troubling. Well, look.
There's quite a bit of corruption that runs through Magnamar here.
Oh, I would know nothing of corruption. You see, it's just No, of course not. Of course not. See, to the common folk, what looks like corruption is really just friends trading money and favors and doing things for their friendly politician friends. See?
I'm not here to rout corruption in Magnamar.
Oh, thank God.
Our path is taking us elsewhere.
Yes.
Some point.
Speaking of.
Yes.
Yes, I do. I would like to hire the Heroes of Light, as you've been dubbed. You see, there's been a recent message from an area that is under Magnamarian control. A small village called Turtleback Ferry. They've had no contact for several weeks from a remote outpost that we have called Fort Rennick near Hook Mountain. The men of the fort are known to be very isolated, and generally they only visit the town to buy supplies or sample the local talent. They are a particularly foul-tempered bunch, so it's very likely that someone in the town angered them on their last trip, and they've decided to go no contact for a while. Generally, I won't worry about these minor squabbles between the military and the small villages that they control, but my cabinet and my master of guard have been urging me to send someone. My master of guard has taken quite a dislike to you, and I like pissing Blakov off very much. So I would like to send you to do this task for me. For your trouble, I would be willing to pay you and each of your companions. I believe there were 5 of you in total, is what I've been told.
There were.
There's 750 gold apiece for this mission. It's quite a bit down the Yonder Bakari River, so you'll want to charter a boat.
And what is it that you hope we do there exactly?
Just check in and make sure that that the village is okay, and that they've not needed anything from the fort, and swing by the fort and tell them to drop a line back to me, and keep me in contact there. I do not appreciate them cutting off contact with me like they do the village.
750 gold to take us out of our way. Just to check on Turtleback Ferry and Fort Rannoch.
Well, can you roll a diplomacy?
Dude, okay. Yeah. 13?
13's not bad.
Why can't I be there?
I didn't want you to get arrested, man. I didn't know we were going this route.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he looks you up and down. To go out of your way. Yes. Well, look, I can raise this to 1,000 gold apiece. That should counteract what you'll have to pay for the boat, the very minimum, right? 5,000 gold for this job.
Should cover it. What are you expecting us to run into?
Hopefully nothing.
Hopefully nothing.
But it is very treacherous going down the Yonder Bakari River, and I mean, the men out there at Fort Rannoch, the men of the Black Arrows, they do end up fighting orcs from time to time. So it is, I guess, remotely possible that you might run into some trouble with an orc clan or two.
Orc clans are of no concern to me.
And
We'll take this job. I believe that we can go the long way around and make this happen for you.
Of course, that's great. And he goes to stand up, and he one of his servants just kind of, sir, you forgot. Oh, yes. He sits back down. I meant there's a reward for the things that you've already done. I got started talking about the new job, and he leans down beside his chair, and looks like he's digging through something to pull out some more money, but instead he just picks up this this chest that's like, I mean, a good 2 feet by 2 feet, just this big box chest, and just plops it down on the table so hard that it shakes and the turkey falls off. And he says, "Here's a gift. It's 6,000 apiece, so 30,000 gold pieces, and I have ordered all merchants in town that the Heroes of Light shall receive a 25% discount on all goods and services."
Does that do anything for our trade-in values?
No.
Okay.
You still get the same trade-in. You just get your
okay. Got
buying stuff cheaper. So yeah,
Well,
he just gave you 35,000 gold all at once.
I'm going to take the look at the chest, close it, and be like, "We appreciate this. I have one more request."
Of course, anything.
Tell Blakeup to stay out of my way. I'm going to heave the chest up under my arm and start to walk away.
All right. Good deal. So you head back to the tavern?
No. First, I'm going to hide the 30,000 gold. No, I'm gonna head back to the tavern. But before we move on, I gotta go run out real quick. BRBs.
Just walking through town with a big chest full of 30,000 gold under his arm. All right. Where is inventory? There we go. Let's see. Go unclaimed. I don't know if he put this on here, so I'm just gonna add it. Excuse me. All right. Yeah, I kind of intended everybody to be there. I said I kind of intended everybody to be there.
Well,
yeah.
You got arrested and left us to sleep.
I mean, I can't. It makes sense, but man, I was anticipating everybody being there and talking a little bit. Let's see what is. Oh wow. I should have given him the name on that.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's say goodnight.
Yeah. Wait, where is that? Go ahead. The name of that spear, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you so that I don't forget between now and the next time.
Do it.
Is the Impaler of Thorns. Here, just to delete what you've got there, and I'll put something new in.
I put Impaler of Thorns.
Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, so you get back to the poob, ye old cube. What you do?
We'll
What
get
you
back.
say?
I'm gonna get with everybody. I'm gonna pull them aside to a room, probably up to my room since I had the big one, and put all this stuff on the counter and recap everything we just went over. That this guy's paying us to go on a route that we were already going down anyway, and I managed to talk him up a bit. We got quite a bit of gold to spend here. Should cover the trip and any provisions we might need.
Zashi will just kind of look at him, scratch his head a bit, and be like, "All right, well, I guess it's good we got an extra bonus." Question: Did he mention about worried about specific groups doing something terrible to that area, hence why we're going, or is he just thinking everyone's mad at each other?
He said he wasn't sure what was happening there, but I think we have a pretty clear idea of what's going on.
Yeah.
I didn't reveal too much to him, just that this place is corrupt and that they may be after him, but we know why. And we know that he's safe as long as Magnamar is free of the Skinsock cult as much as it can be. The Brotherhood of the Seven will still be active here, but we have time to sort that out.
And I love how you stress to him that, it's fine. We'll go the long way around. And he's literally asking you to go directly to where your next mission is.
Musashi would kind of lean over and be like, "So we're on this quest, but do you think he knows that we know about all the evil and everything like that, and we're not going to get betrayed again?"
I think this man is more interested in his own corruption. He wants to tear this entire area down and rebuild it to beautify this city. He's not concerned about rune whales and Runelords and Skinsaw cultists.
Fair enough.
So, while y'all are, or when y'all finish discussing that, Billick, he pipes up from the corners. Guys, so while you were at the palace today, I went and I found an oracle, a diviner here in town. I wanted to ask about Cordova. We haven't seen him in a long time.
What did you find out?
Well, I asked him to speak with the spirit of Cordova. So he cast a spell called divination, and he said that he couldn't find Cordova on the spiritual plane. So that can only mean that Cordova's on the mortal plane.
Can
so
we
he
locate
broke
it?
free.
Now, if he's alive, then that's a good thing. That means I can cast this scroll. And he pulls out the scroll of scrying. He's like, if I just have a mirror, it's a special mirror. I have to have a silver mirror, that's of high value.
Musashi,
But if I just have a mirror, I can
You
do
have that.
this.
that's in your
Wait, what?
bag. Yep, I wouldn't know
Oh,
that, but it's
yeah.
in your bag.
I forgot my inventory. I'm not looking at the sheet right now. I'll be like, what, you mean this? And whip it out and put it on the table?
Holy and he grabs up the mirror. He's like, guys, I can do this now. Come. And he runs outside. And since you're at Underbridge, there's water easily accessible everywhere. He runs up to the edge of the water, and he pulls out the scroll and lays it beside him, and takes both hands with the mirror and slides the mirror under the water. And he begins, chanting and reading from the scroll as the words begin to glow, in calligraphic, gold lettering. He chants, and you see, where is it? Okay, yeah. He chants, and then you hear him whisper the name Cornelius Cordova, and the mirror begins to, vibrate, shake in his hand. A little slow at first, and then harder, faster. The smooth surface of the mirror begins to turn bright pink and glow as it shifts to a bright red, and the water begins to roil and steam underneath. Billick doesn't seem to be hurt by this. He's still holding the mirror. You hear a faint clink, and you see a crack forming in the top of the mirror as it creeps down slowly towards the center, where it splits evenly, and the crack continues down towards the edges of the mirror, leaving behind 3 equally sized shards. Billick, squints at the mirror, a little confused, as the one of the top sections turns black, and faintly you can see a light shining in the dark surface as it dances and flickers and comes into focus. A dim torch is visible. You see the walls of an ancient ruin with familiar runes sticking out, with familiar runes that stick out on the wall to Ren as old Aslanti runes. The second shard flashes with bright, strange lights as you see Cordova falling through a colorful void, entangled with a large, winged, horse-like beast. Cordova raises a mace above his head and brings it down with a crash on the face of the Sandpoint Devil. The devil grasps and claws at Cordova with his sharp hand-like hooves. The beast grabs hold of Cordova's Sahedron rune necklace, right as Cordova puts both hands out in front of him and blasts a bright, shining light, that explodes from his fingertips, sending both combatants sprawling in different directions. The necklace breaks off into the Sandpoint Devil's hands as Cordova falls backwards. It's not the right word. This is flashing video. I don't know why I typed video. Anyways, the flashing colors around him vanish as the material plane comes into focus, as Cordova falls another 30 feet and lands with a splat into some thick, heavy mud at the base of a waterfall. He stands up slowly, checking himself for broken bones. He lifts his head to study his new surroundings. It fades away. The third and bottom shard, for the longest time, only shows a blank white surface. This is all you see. And then finally, slowly, an aged hand creeps slowly across the surface and begins writing. Dear friends, you've achieved much in the name of Sandpoint, but there is much more work to be done and more secrets to uncover. Your losses have been great, there is no doubt. But do not lose faith now. Nars, you've come a long way since your days in the Inner Sea. Your party needs you now more than you know. Musashi, remember your edicts. Your fall and rise will not be in vain. Cthulhu, vicious Cthulhu, you have a skill set that will surely spark fear in the most vile of foes. But never forget who you are and what you are capable of. Aaron, your quest has been fraught with peril. My advice to you is that when the time comes, stay your blade. And last but certainly not least, dear Billig, you spent your life running away from those who may discover your identity. You flee and hide every time someone learns the truth. You fear persecution so much that you have not stopped to consider acceptance. You must learn to trust those around you. Once you have the pride to show yourself to the world, you can begin to harness your true power. All of you, keep your heads up and your eye on the weathered horizon. The tribulation shall pass, all in due time. And as you know, time waits for no one. Your eternal friend, Roderick Quink. And P.S. Oh, Billick, it's not nice to read over someone's shoulder.
Oh, snap. He knew.
Yep. So, that's the end of that vision there.
Bun.
So normally, in case you didn't know, Scry works. Well, I guess I can say this as Billick. Yes, guys. Normally, Scry lets you see where someone is right now. If it's showing me 3 Cordovas, then there must be 3 Cordovas right now.
But Broderick Quink.
I can't completely explain that either, but I mean, I asked for Cordova, and it showed me Mr. Quink.
I might have an idea about that.
Yeah?
Well, considering when I first met Cordova, he was kind of doing this phasing theme, and he talked about being from the future. Who's to say he hasn't come back and forth in time several times in his lifetime?
I mean, if his tales of traveling from the future are true,
Then
he
who
looks at
knows?
Ren.
And he looks at Ren. Ren's like, that's brilliant.
It's a bottle cap, by the way.
Ah!
That was actually where I was planning on ending the session.
And that's
Sachi will look and be like, I need to go punch Roderick.
So now the question is, do we make back for Sandpoint or no, we don't. We move forward. Time waits for no one.
Yeah. So I had a little more, but with nobody else being here, like it can just play out at the beginning of the next session. Like instead of y'all leaving and being on the high seas at the end of this, y'all can just leave out at the beginning of the next session. And
Yeah, we got
works
some
out
shopping
the
to do before we take off out of this town, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah. 7,000
So we can end
gold
it right here?
apiece. And
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna have to do some math on that when I get some time tomorrow. But anyways, say goodbye to the recording.
Bye-bye.
See you next time.